What's going on, YouTube? We're back at it for another Back for Blood deck build video, and today we're talking about the Smg Dps. Now, I know it's been quite some time since I made a Back for Blood video. This may be one of the last ones until we see the new cards coming in December. Arguably, this is about the only deck that I didn't create within all the variety of cards that we could possibly make. There's not many other decks I could really make, maybe a couple of variations of certain things, and throwing in this or that instead of certain other cards. But at that point, it starts to become just a little bit monotonous and almost repeating the same content. So this and the Swarm deck that I've made, that's an updated melee deck, will be the last ones until we get the additions of the new cards in December. I'll definitely be in for that one. But as of right now, post-patch, I mean, they've made a bigger mess of the game in general. They've made things harder, even in Vet. The Ogre, the Breaker, things are just overly powered now, and the spawning of the Special Infected is still broken. There's still moments, as I played through today, where increasing swarms of just Special Infected of all different varieties, Crushers, Stalkers, and Exploders, or Wretches, or multiples of the same kind at that same point, just constantly pushing down on you. But I will argue, Smg Dps deck did hold up, was able to push through things. We've got some banger of gameplay after this to showcase how well this can do inside of Vet. Not a nightmare worthy one. Nightmare is still broken, and even more broken than it was before when playing it. But let's get straight into the deck itself. Now, if you'd like to copy and paste this deck, obviously I'll have it down in the description below in order by name. We're starting off with Ammo Stash. We've got that secondary weapon with unlimited ammo. Since we're utilizing the SMG, a lot of times that same ammo is going to be used for your secondary. So we're going to want to be able to have a surplus of ammo, or at least be able to utilize one gun without completely depleting our ammo really early on in some of the missions and constantly needing to ask either teammates or trying to find ammo in general. So, but since we do have that secondary weapon reload 20% lower, we're going to be mitigating that later on with a different card. But hyper focused right after that, we're going for that 50% weak spot damage. Now we will be taking that 75% ADS move speed reduction. We're going to help mitigate that later on with a different card. It's a bit irritating, but I wanted to go with a bit more mobility with this build, so you kind of stick and move. You'll be able to deplete your ammo pretty quickly, especially with certain SMGs, and utilizing a Tech 9 as your secondary. You're going to be able to just deplete that ammo quickly, pull out an ADS, and then move around the targets if need be. Right after that, Mag Carrier, we got 30% pistol and SMG ammo capacity, as well as the 10% damage with the pistol and SMG. It's going to utilize this quite well. Makes the damage strong and giving us that surplus of ammo. Now, right after that, admin reload, like I said before, 20% slower with a weapon or secondary weapons reload. We're going to completely eliminate that as a problem for later on by utilizing admin reload. For every time we stow the weapon, immediately getting that reload for the weapon while stowed. And for that same reason why we're using that card, power swap. So every time that we're switching weapon, boom, reloading it and getting that 20% damage for 5 seconds right after we swap weapons. Now, one character or a cleaner to use for this that's going to be really beneficial is Carly. Not only is she going to give the 50% use speed for the entire team, and she has the toolkit, but she's going to start with the Tech 9, which I would argue is the better of the choices when it comes to secondaries for this build specifically, because the Tech 9 can deplete its ammo fairly rapidly by the point that you reach the end of the mag. And just immediately swap weapons, you'll instantly gain that 20% bonus for your SMG, whatever you're utilizing. The most damaging SMG that you probably want to use with this build is going to be the UMP, but if you can't find that, Vector's a really good option as well. That one is pretty much just like the Tech 9, so if you just run through that ammo, immediately just drop it into whatever special infected or common infected, switch weapons straight after you've just depleted it, you're going to get that same 0.75 second moment where you're just getting that 20% damage buff. Now, on that note, going forward, Shredder. Now, since we're using the Tech 9 and an SMG, we're constantly maintaining that 15% stack for every 3 seconds. Since we're swapping this weapons, we're not even needing to take that time to reload. We're going to maintain that 15% on top of the 20% and the 10% with that 50% weak spot damage. We are really giving some DPS with this and utilizing that ammo quite well, since the secondary isn't going to be depleting the SMG ammo itself. And right after that, we've got Hellfire. We're starting to move into that mobility section of this where we get that 45% move speed while firing. Now, this can help you out with that 75% reduction to ADS move speed. When you're firing, you gain that 45%, so it'll make it a little bit faster. It's not going to completely make you unlike a slug, but it's going to help in some of those moments, as well as giving us that 5% move speed while not firing. And right after that, silver bullets, we're gaining that 10% bullet damage and adding 150% bullet penetration, only at the cost of, each mutation losing 5 copper. Trust me, don't even worry about it. It's not even going to be something that's even going to make a huge dent inside of your copper supply at the end of each mission. And you're going to be, or the benefits outweigh the negatives in all means. But right after that, padded suit, we're getting that 10% damage resistance, adding a little bit of that health. Now we're taking a hit to the stamina efficiency, but we're going to help mitigate that right after that with superior cardio. Getting that 20% stamina and 20% sprint efficiency. Now what I wanted to do with this deck is essentially make it to where we have a lot of mobility along with that pairing of our SMG and our Tech 9. And since those weapons don't exactly have the longest damage range, things can have a damage drop off at a certain point. You're going to kind of want to push in close and then push away, or just start doing little circles. Really be able to get the angle on some of those special infected as well, be able to move through certain crowds, get the angle, hit that weak spot, take them down, and then move on to the next point. Or just generally move closer to the team, kind of help them clear out some of those packs of common horde or just special infected in general. But right after that, we're dropping in with energy drink. We're getting that 40% stamina and taking a little bit of damage resistance, but we've already got padded suit on to help mitigate that. Now, cross trainers right after that, gaining another that 20% stamina regen, 3% move speed, and a little more health on top of that. Now, Mad Dash, this is when we get extremely quick. If you haven't used this card before, whenever you start sprinting with that 20% sprint speed, boom, oh, you're trucking through there. You are the Bolt himself with this card. Right after that, just to help with that negative to sprint stamina efficiency, we're going with the Olympic Sprinter to gain that plus 30% sprint efficiency. Now, we will be taking another damage resistance, but it's already mitigated by that padded suit. Now, by this point, Reckless Strategy, we're gaining another 30% weak spot damage, so by this point, we'll be up to 80%. Now, arguably, you could throw this up higher if you just wanted more damage before you get a lot of these mobility cards. If you're not worried about mobility and early on you feel like your damage is just not quite what you needed. I will say it's definitely not necessary that you have this up at the top. The gameplay after this will showcase that quite well. Trust me, I was able to take out quite a few special infected in one moment, more than 6 at a time, and I did not have the Reckless Strategy already on. But that being said, it's up to your playstyle, it's up to your preference. If you'd like to move this up, by all means. And one thing to note about some of these cards, if you're not looking to go for mobility, and since you're using Carly, if you want to go for a different type of build, you could mix and match, maybe take out energy drink, maybe take out cross trainers, and utilize maybe some support kind of style things, maybe additional inventory slots for your grenades or healing or something of that nature, or something that just benefits the team in general. That is something you could do. You can mix and match whatever cards you feel with this deck. But if you're just going for a mobility strong DPS SMG deck, this is going to be the one for you. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. Hope this helped some of you out. I know some people were asking about this down in the comments below. Hopefully this is something that you can utilize. I definitely know it's strong enough to make it through vet even by yourself. I did do this by myself. Tried to go in with randoms, but not sure how many people are still playing at this point. I did do this fairly late. More than likely, there is still a fairly large community playing at this. But at that same point, I don't know how much more content I can really pump out of this until we get new cards, until we get new content coming into this, or maybe a patch that reworks some of the cards and just reworks Nightmare in general, so I can just really start putting emphasis on building out Nightmare decks, because at this point, there's no real reason to try to build anything more than a mobility deck for Nightmare, and I hate that. I'd really enjoy trying to build something that had survivability, something that was a bit more of like a mixed bag of DPS along with the mobility, something that could just work really well inside a Nightmare. But since the RNG is so high, and since they've completely broken the Ogre and the Bruiser, or not the Bruiser, the Special Infected and the Breaker, you know, it's just a gamble. It's all based on luck at this point. Hopefully soon enough they'll fix these things. I'll be working my way back through COD here coming soon, but as soon as the December drop for the new cards are coming in, you know I'll be back. I'll be making more than a few new decks, and hopefully they do give us quite a few new cards. So it's going to be pretty painful if we come back and they're like, oh yeah, we've only got probably 10 cards to just add to the decks, and yeah, we'll see you at the beginning of next year. Would be a bit of a gut punch, especially if they didn't patch some of these things and just make Nightmare more viable, something that you could play with actual decks that are built out quite well to be able to survive it, kind of push slow through it instead of just running past everything. But we'll see in the coming future. But let's get straight into that gameplay. Hope you enjoyed this, and hope you guys have a good one. I don't remember that happening before.
But this is good, right?
Sure, because when has the man holding out on you not come back to bite you in the ass?
Ogre coming in on your position. Cover me, reloading! Hey, catch!
Yeah, I'd rather be somewhere else. Look out! Beaker!
I'm hoping you'll regret this more than I will.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, watch where you're fucking.
Everything has a soft spot. Bigger they are, the faster they run away. Reloading. Wanna get in? Pick the wrong person to fuck with.
And they really did make it harder to hit that back.
Harley, watch your fire! I'm here, Harley.
Walker's gone.
Got a bruiser! I've got you. Reloading!
Roger! Get the head! Nothing I like laying down. Do with the hand? Little help here?
Holy shit! What the fuck? I don't remember it ever being this fucking crazy.
Don't see anyone else's name on it.
Holy shit.
Everyone still in one piece?
Well, if you ever needed reassurance that this deck's got DPS, there it is.
Come on. We just need to think of this as a game show, but instead of a timer,
Well, that was not
there's
the plan
things
right
trying
there.
to kill us.
Now there is a breaker on this one. I don't have to kill it. Good thing about unlimited ammo.
Aw, man, stuff's everywhere!
Reloading.
Wait, what? Okay, so Evangelo the bot, the one person that can actually get out of that shit, is stuck in it. Are you kidding me?
I don't think I can last much longer. Come on, Helo's ready. Need to get these lines on.
Alright.
Hey,
Urgent time. Watch out. Stinger.
Oh, come on, guys. Really?
Watch my back.
Oh my god, why is it not working?
I'm surrounded. Take a hit.
cover me. Reloading.
Anybody want to give me some heals right now? That'd be great.
Sawed off here.
Any heavy hitter fans? Personally, the recoil chafes.
Wait a minute, they're sending me all the way over there?
On me.
Inbound. Secure the next crate.
Need to reload.
We've got a bruiser.
Here's one.
Usually there's a breaker at this point, though. Oh wait, the breaker's right after this.
Just ahead. Try not to get bitten again.
Reloading.
No.
Oh, fuck. Watch out, weaker. Get up. I'm surrounded. Lord, why me? Worker.
Mine.
Over there.
This is Screaming Eagle. Inbound on your position.
I don't know where the breaker's at.
Reloading.
This is the last of them. Hook it up and get on, then we'll get the hell out of here.
Watch out.
No breaker, I guess. First try.